Incoming bracket!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is obviously part of a series where I focus on a specific director and rank that director's work from worst to best. Done such directors in the past such as David Fincher, David Lynch, Wes Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, the list goes on. You guys can check that out on my director playlist down below. But guys, you clicked on this video, so you know this time around I'm focusing on Ben Affleck's films and ranking them from worst to best. Now, I'm filming this video in October of 2022, and as of said month and year, he has done 4 films, so I will be ranking them from 4 being his worst to 1 being his best, and of course, my opinion. Now, also, if you're new to the channel, keep in mind this does not include any short films, music videos, TV shows, none of that, just specifically films. So again, he's done 4, so 4 to 1, with 1 being his best, and of course, my opinion. So, guys, enough exposition. Let's get started. So kicking things off with number 4, we have Live by Night, which I did miss in theaters, and I had wanted to see it for a while, but my friend Marv actually had just gotten me to see it about a week ago. And I gotta say, this movie was pretty disappointing. It's a mixed movie. It starts out pretty strong, and then as it progresses, it gets more and more dull. And truth be told, you've seen the premise and the story unfold the way it does many, many times previously. It's well acted, it looks good for sure, but it is very, very hollow and very dull. I barely remember this movie, and again, I saw this a week ago, so tells you a lot about it. So, yeah, that's why it's my number 4. Next up, my number 3, we have Argo, which won Best Picture in 2012, and, I mean, it goes without saying, I don't think it deserved Best Picture. I think it's a solid film for sure. It's well acted, it's got a great cast, it looks good, it's thrilling for sure, but it doesn't have a lot of lasting power in my personal opinion. I've seen it 3 times, I believe it is at this point, and just every single time I watch, I say, yeah, it's entertaining for sure, and yeah, it's decently directed, but it just doesn't really grab me the way that a lot of Best Picture nominees from that year came out. And that's the thing also, there were so many nominations that came out in 2012 where I was like, oh, that should have won Best Picture, that should have won Best Picture, masterpiece. Argo, it's like, it's solid. But again, I want to emphasize this, I don't think it's a bad movie, I just think it's solid, and that's fine. So yeah, that was my number 3. Next up, my number 2 is Gone, Baby Gone. So this is a good movie. This movie has Casey Affleck, which is obviously the brother of Ben Affleck, and he gives a great performance. My goodness, Amy Ryan is also in this. She's great. Ed Harris, Morgan Freeman. It's got a stacked cast. Every single character is great and really compelling. I'm not going to lie, I've only seen this movie 1 time, but I have been itching to rewatch this, especially since this year it turned 15. So I do plan on rewatching this movie, but what I liked about it especially was how it unfolded and everything. I will say, from what I remember, I wasn't as big fan of the twist as a lot of other people, but in retrospect, I do have respect for how they did it. So again, I feel like I'll get even more out of it when I watch it a second time. But you know, as it stands, it's a good movie, and what a directorial debut from Ben Affleck. Like, really, really good stuff right here. And that's why it's my number 2. Next up, my number 1, it goes without saying, you guys probably already know, but my number 1 is The Town. I really, really like this film. Even though, I will say, this is basically Heat, except in Boston. That being said, Ben Affleck does add his own directing flair to this film, so that way it does feel fresh, even if you can't help but be reminded of Heat while watching it. He still does a great job of world building, really getting behind the characters and everything. And the other thing is this. He's very smart in that there's a theatrical cut, there's a director's cut, and there's a director's cut with an alternate ending. And I'm not going to lie, on this set, it does come with all 3, which I'm glad about, because when I first saw this movie, I saw the director's cut, and I liked it quite a bit. But watching the director's cut with the alternate ending, I actually got to say I think I like it a little bit more. But I know that it's kind of hard to find, so I would definitely recommend picking this up on physical media. It's a great looking film. Again, great cast. I think John Hamm does a great job in the movie. Jeremy Renner is the standout. Ben Affleck also does a pretty good job. Rebecca Hall is great. I mean, it's got a great cast. Action scenes when they crop up, really good stuff. Harry Gregson Williams' score. There's a lot to appreciate in this film. And I will say this, whatever cut you watch, I think that you'll like. I've heard a lot of people like the theatrical cut. I mean, when the theatrical cut came out, audiences and critics both liked it. So I can't really say about the theatrical cut, if I liked it or not, because I've only ever seen the director's cut or the director's cut with the alternate ending. But I know that either of those cuts I love. So you can't go wrong with The Town. But that's why it's my number 1. So at the end of these director ranking lists, I always try to talk about the director and if I'm a fan of theirs or not. And I will say, Ben Affleck overall, I think that he is a fine director. I think that he is someone that started out quite strong with like the town, Gone Baby Gone. But then once he got to like Argo and Live by Night, I don't know if it's just because he had a lot of like personal problems that went on in his life, but the directing wasn't quite as strong as his previous efforts. And I don't know if he's gonna be directing any more movies. Like I know originally he was supposed to direct the Batman movie, but that got canceled. So I don't know if we'll be doing any more movies. But I will say that he's still someone that when he if let me rephrase that, if he makes another movie, I will definitely watch it. I do kind of wish that he had more of like a style. Like when you watch Ben Affleck's movies, the only way you can say like, yeah, this is like a style of like Ben Affleck is, oh, these movies all pretty much take place in Boston and are like, mob related or gangster related. Although Argo, you could pretty much say no, but the other three movies, 100% sure. And I don't know, like I kind of wish he had more of a style, but still. I like him as a director. Obviously, that's why I decided to do his directing ranking list for this list. But he's someone I have a great deal of respect for, and yeah, this is my director ranking list, guys. Let me know your ranking list, though, guys, of Ben Affleck's movies down below. Do you like his movies? Do you not? And again, rank his work from 4 to 1. And guys, thank you as always for watching. With the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.